Hi, everybody, John Cena here, and welcome to the grand final of FunkQuest Season 1, and excitement reaches fever pitch as we welcome back the top two Funksters for Season 1. And number 7 seed Leana Dell and number 12 seed Cathy Weiss. And Leana, tell me who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
I'm Leana Dell, and I live in Dallas, Texas, and I write books and speak and have a podcast.
Fantastic. And Cathy, tell me who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Hey, I'm Cathy Weiss. I'm on the central coast of California. I use my gifts as an intuitive and clairvoyant to help people find deep fulfillment at the level of their soul, which is joy.
Well, hopefully we're going to get a bit of that in the next quarter of an hour. So if this is your first time on FunkQuest, you'll kind of pick it up. These ladies are going to make it sound very, very easy, but it's difficult. It's harder than it looks. And if you think you are funky enough, send me a tweet at JohnCena1. And if you think you've got a better answer than these ladies, that's why I watch quiz shows, right? Join in with hashtag FunkQuest. I'm going to have today Yorkshire edition.
Ooh.
And all the questions, all the pictures that you see on the question slide are going to be Yorkshire related. I'll give you a little bit of a commentary about each one. And I live around about there.
Okay.
Right? So there's a bit of kind of educational newsreader type.
Sweet.
Type information on this.
Cool.
So who's going to go first? I'm going to do a coin toss, I think. Let's go. Cathy, you're the lowest ranked Funkster, so Leana gets the priority of choosing pink or orange.
I will pick orange.
It is orange, so you choose to go first or second.
Oh, I'm gonna go second.
I'm going to go second. So Cathy, you're up.
All right. The balloons, please.
A statue of Captain Cook sailed from the northeast coast of England in 1768. They discovered Newfoundland and most of what we now call Australia in the Polynesian Islands. What do you think about in the shower?
I often start channeling messages for my day. And it's so cool. I think because in the shower, there is no distraction. At least for me, there's no distraction. Like the door's closed, the dog's outside the door. And it's just this glorious, quiet space where I start to drop into a real meditative state and start receiving messages. They could be for my clients. They could be for myself. They could be for a program that I'm starting up in a couple of months. But that stuff starts to come in while I'm in the shower. And then usually I hop out and start writing things down so I don't forget, because they kind of come through me. And if I don't write them down, they are long gone to the wind, and hopefully somebody else finds those thoughts.
Interesting. I like the idea of that nobody else can come in. Well, they could, I suppose, but you're kind of in by yourself.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah. Leana, now, because it's the final, you can pick your own question one. You don't have to go with the same question.
Is that I like the woman with the umbrella.
The lady with the umbrella, yeah.
Without my glasses, it looks like a golf hole in the shadow. I was confused.
Yeah, that's North Marine Drive in Scarborough. And what weird childhood fear do you still have?
I have a little bit of a thing with spiders still. I wasn't very old. I was maybe 9, and I was at a friend's house, and they had this television show. I don't know if it was just in Canada. I don't even know what the name of it was, but there was this clip of this guy in an apartment, and there was a spider in his sink, and he kept trying to wash it down, and it kept coming back up.
Yeah.
And he kept telling his friends he was scared, so they locked him in the kitchen, and to get over his fear, and the spider got really giant and ate him. And I was so to this day, if I see one in a sink,
yeah,
it's an issue. I do manage to catch it and put it outside, because washing it down apparently would mean my imminent demise.
Yeah.
So,
question 2.
I'm going to go with the girl on the telephone.
The girl on the telephone. That is a scene from the Yorkshire Dales National Park. What would you do on your last night on Earth?
Well, I'd spend it in Paris.
Paris?
Absolutely no question. I would take all of the people that I love dearly, and we would go to Paris, and we'd get the best table in the best restaurant, and we would drink wine, and we would tell stories, and we would reminisce, and we would laugh, and we'd cry. And is it all end at midnight? Is that how that's going to end?
Is that it? I don't know. Overlooking the Champs-Elysees. Would you go there, or would you go to the Louvre or somewhere like that?
I'm not fussy. I would probably just find, all right, how about there's a restaurant in the Eiffel Tower, is there not?
Yeah.
That's where I go.
Yeah. I don't
And,
know.
since it's my last night on Earth, they would grant me a reservation because
They surely would, yeah.
I would play it up and, I'd have somebody behind me with a violin and I'd say, but.
I think all they do is just listen to people saying to the top in all different European languages. They don't do anything else. Top, okay.
What I do. And I would love a minute of it. It would be great joy.
Yeah, good answer. And Cathy, we take turns, don't we? Yeah, right. Question 2.
I think I'll do the ship.
The shipwrecked ship.
Yeah.
Landlocked ship. Again, North Marine Drive at Scarborough, down by the waterfront, the seafront, are very popular with surfers. Where do you exercise?
Primarily right here at home in my living room. It has a beautiful, real hardwood floor, and I have been doing yoga for 23 years. I'm an experienced yoga instructor with 13 years of yoga teaching, and I have over 500 hours of training in yoga and subtle body energy and meditation and all that good stuff. So I just drag my mat out into the living room and do yoga a couple times a week, and then a few other days of the week I do some cardio and weightlifting type stuff for strengthening my bones and all that good stuff, and then I also walk with my co-healer Agnes, which is my little beagle dog, around a lake here nearby, and we usually do about 2 miles a day, so I kind of consider that part of my exercise as well.
I'm going to link to your epic rant from your first round match about yoga.
Yeah.
And the question was, what got ruined because it became popular? And Cathy started talking about yoga and didn't draw breath for about
for like the whole 3 minutes.
Like
I was like, let me tell you.
I'm talking about yoga. It's like it's angry.
Yeah.
Kind of
Which is why I just drag my mat out and do, and thank God that I'm highly trained and I know how to create a wise yoga sequence and practice for myself. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I just do it on my own at home.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the
I love it.
Somewhere, yeah. Next question, and I've lost track of who's where. You both had 2 questions, right? I've lost track.
Happy
yes.
But it's Cathy to go first now. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
These are all kind of interesting. Is that pencils in the last corner? Yeah, the colored pencils.
Yeah. Dob Cross Village Hall, just outside Oldham, part of West Yorkshire. Who's the luckiest person you know?
I almost wanted to say me, if that was weirdly selfish, but I literally win prizes and raffles all the time. One time, this is the coolest story, let me tell you. I won a trip by calling into the radio station. You had to be caller number 106.7, which was technically caller number 107. And it was when they played 3 U2 songs in a row.
Yeah.
And the prize was a trip from California to Boston to see U2 in concert on St. Patrick's Day.
Fantastic.
Oh,
and the coolest thing was, as I was dialing, frantically dialing, I could hear my phone ringing, but I had the radio on in the background and I could hear them counting, your number 104, your number 105, your number 106, and I still hear ringing, and I was like, oh my God, I know I won. I know I won. And then they were, I just knew it as they were counting. And then they were like, hey, you're caller 106.7. And I was like, I went crazy.
So it was a good trip.
It was great. Oh my gosh. I got to go to Boston and hang out and see U2 in concert. It was amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'd often rather count those kind of things. Was it just a person counting thing? I don't want to ring up the first bloke to ring up. I don't want to be that guy. Number 1.
Right.
Everybody thinks that. Nobody rings up. Anyway, next question. Question 3, Leana.
I'm going to go with the guitar player.
Girl playing the guitar.
Absolutely.
So, Leana, pick question 3.
Paints. I'm going to go
Paint.
with
Leeds City Market. Leeds is the financial centre of the north of England, 170 miles north of London. Where did you learn to ride a bike? Or when, sorry?
I learned to ride a bike when I was, it's so hard to remember ages. I wasn't very old, maybe 10. I don't know, 9 or 10. But where is kind of interesting.
Mhm.
So because I lived in Canada and we had, or did live, grew up in Canada, we had about 6 months of the year where you could ride your bike. Now they ride them in the snow. I don't know when they started doing that, but regardless. And we had, my dad built our house and we had a full basement and there were 2 giant concrete posts in the basement for support, right, for the house.
Yeah.
But it wasn't finished. So the bottom of the basement floor was concrete and I rode around. My dad was with me and he taught me to ride a bike in the basement in my house. So
That's cool.
I rode around the pillars and around the pillars and around the pillars. You know, when I got outside and actually had to go in a straight line, I was a little confused. But that is where I learned to ride.
Could you have bike races? Long enough to have bike races and big enough and all that.
It was
no?
constantly in this, you know, turning. But yeah, it's pretty
Did
cool.
you go around the other way just so you didn't get dizzy?
I never went the other way. I don't know what the problem was. And you know, my dad's still in that house. So when I go to visit, it's now hard floors, but yeah,
brilliant.
This is where I learned to ride a bike.
Very good. Question 4, and it's Leana to go first.
Me, I'm gonna take the bird.
The one on the right-hand side, yeah.
One on the right-hand side.
Humber Bridge, when built in 1981, was the single-span suspension bridge, the longest in the world until it was overtaken by somewhere in Japan, 1998. Where's your favourite panoramic view?
Boy, I would have to say that would be probably the Oregon coast, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a drive along the Oregon coast. It's one of the top 5 drives in the world and views, and it's absolutely stunning. It's like every place you look, it's gorgeous. Looking out at the water, looking back behind you, it's really, to me, one of the most beautiful areas that I've ever seen. I've seen it. Wow, there's a lot. There are a lot, but I think that one's probably one that I did a solo drive down there several years ago down the Oregon coast, and it was breathtaking. I just wanted to stop about every.
Sunglasses on, music playing.
Oh yeah,
all that. Yeah, good.
Whole Jackie O thing going.
We'll find some pictures and put those in the show notes.
All right, done.
Cathy, question 4.
Gosh, that question was really tempting, and I'm like, I'm 50-50 if I want to answer it or not. Can I answer it? Yeah.
I don't know. Yes.
Or should I do something different?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, I want to answer that. Let's do that.
Right,
Same one.
Yeah. Where's your favorite panoramic view of the world? That's still the Humber Bridge.
Big Sur, California, which is also along the same west coast of the United States. Highway 1 has been considered the most scenic highway in the United States. And my favorite view from Big Sur is from this restaurant called Nepenthe. And when you're out on their patio, if you look to the south, you can see the line of the coast, and there's like a beautiful, because it butts up right against these hills and cliffs. So there's like beautiful like forest and hills, and then the ocean, and you're sort of sitting up above it at this restaurant. So you can just see for miles and miles. And if you look straight out to the west, it's all ocean. When you're there at sunset and the sun is coming down and it starts to touch the water, it like the whole restaurant goes silent. And if you get lucky, you can see the green flash as the sun descends into the ocean. And there has been many times when I've been there that at that like final moment where the sun completely descends below the horizon, everybody bursts out into applause like it is the most amazing, gorgeous thing they've ever seen in their life. And I love it. Like I can't get enough.
What's the green flash?
It's an event in the atmosphere when the sun sets, where there's a moment where it looks like a green line around the sun.
I've never come across that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a sweet spot, perfect timing. You have to be looking at the exact moment.
Right, okay.
But it happens every time the sun goes down.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very cool. I could find out more about that. Question 5, Cathy, to go first.
All righty. How about some corn?
Corn. Chatsworth Bridge. Chatsworth is the home of the Duke of Devonshire. What's the first thing you notice about a person?
Their energy.
Okay.
Hands down, like just hands down. So a person's energy is their electromagnetic vibration that extends away from their body. Science can measure this right now up to about 5 feet away. As someone who is highly sensitive, which only like 20% of the population is highly sensitive, I can feel someone's energy more deeply or stronger than a person who is not highly sensitive, and I can feel it from further away. So I'm actually going to pick up somebody's energy, like no matter where they are in proximity to me, and that's always going to be the first thing I notice about them. I can't help it.
Is that how much does that kind of chew in with like body language and stuff like that? Because I mean, I could sit there like this.
Yeah. Well, definitely a person's body language is going to reflect what their energy is, but I'm going to feel the physical, the energy before I pay attention to their body language, and the body language will be for me more like a confirmation of what I'm already feeling.
Good, interesting. Is that a Leana Dale podcast mug? Just hold that up.
Oh, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, very good. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Talk.
Yeah, very good. You better drink quick because it's your go.
I'm going to do the virtual reality guy.
The guy with the goggles on, yeah.
Yeah.
St George's Hall, which is a concert venue and various other multi-purpose venue in Bradford, which is an industrial city just near Leeds. Where's the best team you've ever worked, or what was the best team you've ever worked in?
The best team I ever worked in, without a doubt, where I was a nurse before I started doing leadership development, which I still do in healthcare. And I worked with a team at a hospital in San Antonio, Texas, where we did heart transplants. And our patients were so sick. They were the highest acuity patients I've ever looked after in my entire career. We had a tendency to take patients and list them or hold them for transplant, or take patients that other people wouldn't take. And they were so sick, and we worked together like a fine oiled machine. To this day, those girls were like, I consider them to be my in the trenches peeps. You know, we just have that connection. We've been through a lot. We've seen a lot together. And honestly, when there was a crisis, it was absolutely flawless the way we pulled together. I've never seen anything like it since. And I hold that so close to my heart.
Those ladies, do you still keep in touch?
Yeah. Well, it was ladies and guys. We had respiratory therapists. We had, all of the nurses, the techs, and it was night shifts. So the docs weren't physically in house.
Get on and actually do something.
Yeah.
Get something done.
Yeah. We were saving lives and taking names. That's what we were doing, man. It was incredible. It was really a highlight for me. And I got to actually watch a heart transplant.
Really?
So, yes. One of my patients, they got a heart, and I prepped him for surgery, and he was 1-to-1 because he was so sick. He was my only patient. So I asked if I could go in, and I got to stand the anesthesiologist put me on like this box at the top of the patient's head behind the sterile field. And I got to look right down in his chest and watch the whole thing where they took the old one out and they put the new one in. And it was absolutely, if I was to drop right now, I've had the absolute utmost experience.
The honor. Yeah.
Incredible.
Good answer. Good stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a little bit unkind now that Cathy's not got a bit more time. What shall we do? Is that it? Shall we? Well, I don't know. Let's jump on to the voting, and let's say that ask the question, who won season 1? I don't know, because there's been so many smart people that have been on the show, and you, the listener, can vote. You've got to decide who you think You've got to decide who you think is the winner. And if you think Leana was the person that gave you the funkiest insight over this show, over the series as a whole, you send an email to leana@funkythinkers.com. And if you think Cathy gave you the biggest insight over this show or the series as a whole, send an email to Cathy@funkythinkers.com. Your email is safe. You won't get added to anything stupid list or anything like that. We'll just send you an acknowledgement. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show. It feels like every week we speak. I don't know if it's like...
I know, it's great.
It has been, just about, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I should give you like a little 1 minute kind of like to make your final pitch. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Cathy, give us your little your summary of the series or whatever you want to say.
My summary, this morning, I literally wanted to go have this little plastic tiara because I have a former job title I gave myself was Queen Flirt. And I just wanted to like get out my little queen crown and like walk around with my queen crown on because like, come on, Grand Champion Funkster is the coolest. That's even a cooler title than Queen Flirt. So it's been so much fun and such a breath of fresh air to meet different people and talk about all these random things that maybe we've even forgotten about. So I'm just like really deeply grateful for the whole experience, and I would love your votes.
Brilliant. Very humbling from my point of view, I must say, having all these smart people on. And I looked around for a bow tie, but I couldn't find one. I was going to look for a bow tie.
It's in the same place as my crown. It's like in a storage box somewhere.
Yeah, Leana, give us your final thoughts on the series.
This has been just so super fun. And so every time I'm getting ready for one of these competitions, I have that song in my head, Funk You Up, Uptown Funk You Up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was Bruno Mars, I think.
Does he do podcasts and shows, do you think? Can we get him on?
I don't know. Man, it's just, I don't know. But that song plays in my head and I get all, I was talking to somebody this morning. I said, I got to get the funk out, man. I'm going in. But I love it. I look forward to it. I think, Jonathan, you're a ray of funky sunshine. And I'm going to miss not seeing you every week. We're going to have to do something about that.
We'll have to do something. Yeah, we'll have to have a virtual meetup or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
And I mean, I love the questions. You're very creative. And thank you very much for letting me be part of it.
I didn't. No, listen, I didn't say it for that. I didn't. But anyway, let's say that. Cathy, how can we find out more and contact you?
You can find me online at thejoyhealer.com, and it's got links to all my socials and all the other good stuff there. So just head straight to thejoyhealer.com.
Fantastic. And Leana?
LeanaDell.com is where all of my stuff is, but I also have a website called girlfriendweneedtotalk.com, and that's my podcast website.
Fantastic. Good stuff. So, listener, it is in your hands. I don't know. I don't vote. You've got one of these ladies to be the overall, what do you call yourself? Grand Champion? I don't know.
Grand Champion Funkster. That was, I believe that was your language, too. I think you said that in a video.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But let's... thank you so much for being on, and speak soon.
Thank you.
Take care.
See you, bye. Hi, thanks so much for making it to the end of this episode. If you've enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. I have a few people you might want to share it with. Your partner, your parents, your grandma and granddad, your neighbours, your hairdresser, your tea lady, your gym instructor, your swimming coach, postman, the bin man, your cat, your dog, Father Christmas, Mr. Trump, Mr. Putin, Cristiano Ronaldo.